We just got Commander Legends in stock. Let's crack some packs. Okay, so let's grab a box of Commander Legends and see what we get. So people that know me will know I'm not a big Commander buff, so some of these cards might be readers for me. I might end up opening something really sweet and not realise how good it is, but let's have a look, see what we get. Get that out of the way. Right, okay. So, first pack, see what we get. So I've not watched the spoilers for these, so I don't know what's in these Sailor Amines. I'm just going to go through the commons and uncommons really quick, because I doubt there's much of interest here. What's path of interest? Here's the battlefield tapped, add 1 mana any colour and commander's colour identity. When the mana is spent to cast a creature spell. Well, that's cool, so it's just, comes into play tapped all the colours of your commander. That's really neat. Okay, but we'll move through commons and uncommons pretty quick, because I don't imagine there's a lot of interest here now. Our rare is the Flamekin Herald. Commander spells have Cascade. Oh, that's really cool. And then we get, in these packs, what you get is you get your confirmed rare or mythic, and then you get some legends. So you get 2 legends in each pack, I believe. So we'll get the Struggle the Shipwreck, that's an additional cost. Sacrifice any number of permanents. Okay, go find some creatures at the beginning, and then we've got Numa Jiraga Chieftain. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay XX. When you do, distribute that many +1/+1 characters among elves. Oh, okay, so it's a elf lord, and then we get a foil. Foil's not very interesting. Oh, and this is the shapeshifter. This is the. It can be any colour you want. The general. If you don't have a general, that's neat. Okay. So none of those were super big hits. Now the nice thing is that the commanders that you get can be any rarity, so you can get like triple mythic packs if you're really lucky. This is the card everyone's talking about. This guy that when he dies you make a 1/1 elf, and then he has Encore, so they come back and make a number of copies of himself equal to the number of players, so you just get a lot of value, a lot of tokens. Preordains in the set, that's really cool. Wild Heart Invoker, the Invokers would be great in Commander. Sissy's Rings, it's kind of like Sol Ring, but costs 4 mana, so nowhere near as good. Seraph of Dawn, Path of Ancestry, Fleshbag, okay, uncommons, Marauders, Thought Vessel. I remember this card was expensive at one point. Okay, so here we've got Soul of Eternity. Soul of Eternity's power and toughness is equal to your life total, and it has Encore. Oh, okay, cool. So it's a massive boy, and then you can Encore it back and attack everyone for your life total. And then we've got the rare legendary Human Pirate, Zara's Renegade. Oh, okay, so these don't need to share a rarity. That's interesting. I thought they would both be rare or both be mythic. And our foil's not very interesting. So what's this guy? When Zara Renegade recruiter attacks, look at defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking that player. Return it. Okay, so you steal their creature for a turn. And Malcolm doesn't really seem like a Magic the Gathering name, but this is Malcolm Keen-Eyed Navigator. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponent, you create a treasure token. Okay, it's a pirate lord. Neat. Now, I'm probably going to say lord a lot, and by lord I just mean like guy that cares about creature types or gives creatures a buff. I know lords typically Molder Beast. It's a pretty unexciting one to be in here. Palace Sentinels. You become the monarch. This card's great. It's an awesome cube card. Eyeblight Massacre from Magic Origins. The Bandars, the Cat Monkeys, they're great. Vow of Torment, +1/+1 menace, can't attack. Okay. Noxious Dragon, Explosion of Riches, Command Beacon. Put your commander into your hand from the command zone. Interesting. And then we've got the goblin that makes rocks and throws them at people. And Slurk. All ingesting, enters the battlefield with 5+1/+1 counters when Slurk or another creature enters the battlefield. Okay, and then we've got a foil, Path of Ancestry. Okay then. I don't really know, again, what the big hits are. So Ambush Viper, loved this card in original Innistrad. Prying Hands. Perilous Mirror, this card was great. I used to play a Glissa the Traitor combo deck with Perilous Mirror. Skilled Animator. Sakishima's Will, choose one. If you control a commander, as you cast this, you may choose both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control, and you gain control of it, so it's a mind control, that they choose the creature though. And choose a creature you control, each other creature you control becomes a copy of it. Okay, cool. And then we've got Rebek and Nadir. And then a foil Rummaging Goblin. Still, I don't feel like we've opened anything crazy good yet, Prosperous Pirates. There's like a treasure theme, and there's like a monarch theme, Spectral Searchlight. Okay. Charcoal Diamond. Diamonds are pretty good for Commander. Forceful Denial, Cascade Counterspell. That's interesting. Hunter's Insight. Choose target creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage, draw that many cards. Oh yeah, Hunter's Insight. That's a really old card. That was in like one of the older core sets. It's just new art on it. Court of the Cunning. When Court of the Cunning enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Beginning your upkeep, any number of target players mill 2 cards. If you're the monarch, each of those players mill 10 cards. Oh. Kadama, the East Tree, reach. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it was put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with... Oh, okay. So it just pulls things from the yard. Oh, I love this card. The Llanowar Abomination. The art on it is fantastic. Vigilance, Menace, Abomination of Llanowars. Power and toughness each equal to the number of elves you control. That's cool. And then a foil Faith Setters. More Pirates, Renegade Tactics, Fertilid. It's got a modern combo deck at the minute. With Heliod. Skywhaler Shot, great removal spell. Searchlight Phyrexian Rager, awesome card. Welding Sparks, Mask of Memory, Meteor Golem, can't go wrong with that. Watcher of Evil Siles. Okay, the Hull Breacher, Flash. When an opponent would draw a card, except the first one they would draw each turn, instead you create a treasure token. That's pretty cool. That's like kind of that Demir Thief guy. That if they would draw extra cards, you would draw extra cards, but this guy makes treasures instead. Nimrus Unas Trickster, Flash Flying. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand. Oh, that's cool. So it turns all your flash spells into cantrips. And 2 a Bear Claw, and just a foil Orc Pirate. Not hit any mythics yet. Let's try and hit a mythic. Deranged Assistant, Spark Harvest, Aqueous Form, big Sentinel Spider, big spidery boy. Vaguely familiar. Trove Tracker. When Trove Tracker dies, draw a card. Okay. Encore, that's cool. So when it dies, it draws a card, and then later on you just get to draw a card for all the players in the game. Farhaven Elf, I remember this card as well. This set's pretty sweet. There's a lot of good cards cast down. That's a nice reprint. Not very good in Commander, I guess, so it doesn't kill the generals. Court of Ambition. Oh, okay, so this must be a cycle then. When Court of Ambition enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life. If you're the monarch, they lose 6, unless they discard 2 cards. So what we got here? We've got this Kobold, the 0 mana 0/1 with First Strike, Menace, and Trample. That's really sweet. And Ghost of Rimirez Di Pietro. Okay, so Ghost of Rimirez can't be blocked by creatures power 3, toughness 3 or greater. When Ghost of Rimirez deals combat damage, choose up to 1 target card in a graveyard that was discarded or put there from the library this turn. Okay, so he wants to go on a mill deck. That's interesting. Foil Gale Strike. Crushing Vines. So there's like a pirate theme as well. Fintorn Elves, that's a sweet reprint. Yep, these diamonds. Palace Sentinels, always good. More diamonds, munitions, Strength of the Pack, Dreamstone Hedron. Again, this card was worth money at one point too. Patron of the Valiant. Okay, and our raid is Keeper of the Accord. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you, create a 1/1 soldier. Okay, and then at the beginning of each player's end step, that player controls more lands than you may search for a basic plains. That's cool. So he's got like the land, almost kind of land tax on him, and he makes tokens. Just a really good white card. What is this guy? Green, blue, red for a 4/2. As you cascade, you may put a land card from one of the exile cards. Oh, that's cool. So he's like, when you cascade, you get more. Oh, we've got rare, another rare. Note the converted mana cost of each card as it's put into exile. His power is equal to the greatest number noted from this turn. At the beginning, if you upkeep, exile top card your library. That's interesting. So he exiles your own cards. Be cool to see someone make that work. That's like a nice alt art. As long as it's your turn, commanders you control of indestructible. That's cool. So I got 3 legendaries in that pack. That's really cool. Three legendaries, 3 rares. That's cool. Okay, let's keep going. This set's quite sweet to open. It's Invoker again, Fertilid. There's still a lot of like cards I didn't expect to be here. Omen Speaker. Angelic Armaments. That's a card I didn't expect to be here. Don't know how good it is, but first response. Kubaj Witches. Kubaj Witches deals 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to any target of an opponent's choice. It's a weird card. Wheel of Misfortune. Here we go. Each player secretly chooses a number 0 or greater. Then all players reveal those numbers simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest numbers. Wheel of Misfortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who chose the highest number, and each player who didn't choose the lowest number draws 7 cards. Ah, okay, so you're trying to not be the highest or the lowest, and you get paid off if you're in the middle by drawing a bunch of cards. This guy has Cascade. Spells you cast converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade. That's really cool. And the Call of the Woods, add green mana when you spend mana to cast a creature with converted mana cost 6 or greater, draw a card. And then a foil common. Okay, again, I'm just skipping right over the commons and uncommons. Return to Dust, a nice reprint. Siren Stormcaller. Elvish Dreadlord. Death Touch. When it enters the battle, when it dies, non-elf creatures get -3/-3 and has Encore. Oh, that's cool. So that means when you get it back later on, it's going to give things -6/-6 or -9/-9 when all the copies die. Steel Legion. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens have +1/+4. Makes creature tokens. Foil Omen Speaker, and who's this guy? When Kanji Skywarden attacks, attacking creatures you control with flying get +2/+0. When he blocks, okay, cool, he's like a flying lord. Nice. There is definitely one of our regulars who will be quite happy for a bird wizard flying lord. I'll tell you that much. Elvish Visionary, okay. Fire Cannonade. Neat. Brass Herald. As Brass Herald enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. When Brass Herald enters the battlefield, reveal top cards. Put all creature cards of the chosen type revealed this way into your hand. Oh, that's cool. So he's like a Goblin Ringleader, but you choose the type. Search your library for a forest. Oh, 3 visits. Slaughter the Strong. That's a uncommon now. That's been downgraded. Another Hull Breacher. Dwarf Artificer. When a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, that creature gains double strike. Cool. The Moonkraken. When the Moonkraken enters the battlefield or casts a spell, convert mana cost 6, return a permanent. Bounce something you cast CMC 6 or more. At the beginning of each player's post-combat main phase, that player adds colourless for each of your opponents who lost life this turn. It's green-black, so I like it. It's very Grimflayer reminiscent, a card that I absolutely love. Doesn't do anything like Grimflayer, but the fact it's a green-black 2/2 is enough to get me excited. Okay, just again skip these Perilous Mirrors, cool cards, feel very familiar. Lightning, Rig Crew, open the armories. Or when I lay it, oh! Jewelled Lotus, there we go, there's the first mythic hit right there. Jewelled Lotus, very nice. For people that don't know, this is a Black Lotus, but it can only cast your commander. Jared Calithian True Heir. When Jared Calithian True Heir enters the battlefield, target opponent becomes the monarch. Okay, when he comes in, you choose someone to become the monarch. You can't become the monarch this turn. If damage would be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 critters on him. Okay, so he's better than indestructible. If you, no, he's not indestructible, I guess. He's immune to damage if you become the monarch, but he gives the crown away when he comes in. Emberclaw Familiar. When a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much. Okay, cool. And then a foil no one cares about. Jewelled Lotus is a nice hit. Okay, again, let's just get past all this. Fintorn Elves, nice one. Golem Artisan, Arcane Signet. That's a nice reprint. That desperately needed a reprint. That's really cool that's there. Court of Bounties, this will be the green court card. When Elves battlefield become the monarch, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a land from your hand out of the battlefield. If you're the monarch instead, You may put a creature or a land. That's crazy. You can just put a creature into play every turn. That's awesome. The all-ingesting Slurp guy and the Dead Tide. Exile cards from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents you have. Target creature card in your graveyard gains Encore. Oh, that card seems like there's a lot of ways to break it. There must be some cards that get mental if you give them Encore. Okay. Let's keep going. Command Tower. That's nice that Command Towers are in here. Command Spheres, Furnace, Face Fetters, Victimize. I love Victimize. Victimize is such a good card. Try and put this in all my cubes. It does so much. Necrotic Hex. Each player sacrifices 6 creatures and you create 6 zombies. Okay, so it's basically a Wrath and then you get some zombies. That's pretty cool. Filgree Thrasher. When Filgree Thrasher attacks, you may discard a card. When you do, target creature defending player controls it -X, -X, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifacts in your graveyard. Okay, so when it attacks, it kills something if you've got a bunch of artifacts. Arden the Intrepid. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent player. Okay, so he's like an aura equipment lord. Cool. There's that guy again. Huntmaster. He does seem really, really good. Silverback Shaman. Big Monkey Opal Palace. Whoa. Some card. This is just great that they're giving us cards like Command Tower and Opal Palace and things. These are cards that people really needed. The Signet as well. Destroy target non-black creature if its toughness is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. So 1 black, kill something. Pen and Blade. Did that not used to be a raid as well? Armorcraft Judge. War Room. Pay life equal to the number of colours in your commander's colour to draw a card. Okay, so that's just 3 mana draw, pay some life, draw a card. That's interesting. So it's like the Castle Lochwain, but colourless. That's neat. Lithio Oathsworn Sentinel. Choose another target creature. It's controlling me, exile it with an Aegis counter on it. Return all exile cards. With Aegis counters on, battlefield zone's control. Okay, so he's like a Blink Lord. Or he's like a Blink Enabler, that's cool. And Hamza, Guardian of Ashen. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it, so he cares about +1/+1 counters. Creatures you cast cost 1 less for each. Okay, so he gets cheaper and then makes all your other creatures cheaper if you've got +1/+1 counters. That's cool. And he's like a big elephant boy. And then Foil Pilgrim's Eye. Nice. The value in these boxes must be pretty good, considering like you get multiple rares, or you can get multiple rares per pack. I'll be interested to see how many rares we get at the end of this. Just because like you get those 2 guaranteed legends, and they can be any rarity. Guildless Commons. When Guildless Commons enters the battlefield tapped. When Guildless Commons enters the battlefield. Oh, okay, so it's like a bounce land, but it produces colourless. Interesting. Thirst for Knowledge, great card. Supreme Will, great card. Kamal's Will. So not quite Supreme Will, but this is Kamal's Will. Choose one. If you control a commander, you can do both. Until end of turn, any number of target lands become 1/1 elemental creatures with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. Cool. Choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals damage. Oh, okay, so it's like a kill. You turn all your creatures into 1/1. You turn all your lands into 1/1 vigilant things, and then you use all the lands to murder something. That's pretty neat. Glacian Powerstone Engineer. Tap X untapped artifacts. Look at the top X cards in your library. Put one of those cards in your hand. Okay, so this guy just cares about you getting lots of artifacts, and then you can use the artifacts to draw cards. That's neat. Breaches. Little Goblin Pirate, the Brazen Plunderer, Menace. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal combat damage to your opponent, exile the top card. Okay, cool. Top card of the libraries, you may spend. Yeah, so it's the red draw effect. Soulfire. Foil Common. Okay, nothing to see here. Nullcaller. This card was great in Battle for Zendikar. Just makes an army out of nothing. Burnished Heart, good card. Guiltleaf Winnower. That's been downgraded as well. This card used to be rare too. Another mythic. Archon of Coronation. When Archon of Coronation enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Okay, so 6 mana, 5/5 flying. As long as you're the monarch, damage doesn't cause you to lose the game. Or to lose life. Damage doesn't cause you to lose life, so your life total can't change. That's cool. So it's kind of like a Platinum Empyrean that makes you the Monarch. Neat. And then another rare voice. This is what I'm saying, multiple rares per pack. So one in Jund colours, Vigilance, a player losing unspent mana. That player, so he brings mana burn back into the game, and then 1 mana, each player adds Jund colours to their mana. That's cool. This guy just brings mana burn back in the game. Nice one. Etech, Salvager Splicer. When Etech enters the battlefield, you create a Golem, where an artifact is put into a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on, a +1/+1 counter to each Golem. Cool. Golem Lord. And then the Black Rose, when it enters the battlefield, become the Monarch foil. Oh, and the Golem token to go with them. Nice. Shimmermere, I like this guy. He used to be red as well. It evades Phyrexians by hiding in the space between seconds. I love this flavour text. Rejuvenating Springs. I didn't realise there was a dual land cycle in here. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. Oh wait, so is this completing the cycle? That's cool from the last Commander product. That's really neat. So it's untapped if you have 2 or more opponents. That's cool. So in Commander it's just blue-green untapped if you're playing multiplayer. The Abomination of Landwarp, Tormod the Desecrator. So this is the guy that when 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 zombie token. Yeah, so when things leave your graveyard, you get zombies. And then Captain Vargas, so another one foil this time. When Captain Vargas Wrath attacks, pirates you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game. Oh, okay. So the fact he only costs like blue-red, if he's your commander, like if you've cast him like the 3rd time, he's only 6 mana. And then when he attacks, he gives all your other pirates +3/+3. That's really cool. I like the design on that one. Next up. Okay, again, Seer's Lantern, nice one. Ghastly Demise, more Opal Palaces, fantastic reprints. Kingsblade Courier. So that's a new Encore card. Rex Sage. Ingenuity Engine, Cascade, sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. Okay, so you sacrifice an artifact, you bounce an artifact. Oh, so you keep bouncing this and then it costs 7 and you cascade into cool stuff. Makes sense. Another Mythic. Hellkite Courser. Flying, so it's 6 mana for a 6/5 flying. When Hellkite Courser enters the battlefield, you may put a commander you own from the command zone onto the battlefield. It gains haste, return to the command zone. Okay, so it's through the breaches your commander when it comes in. That's really cool. Then we've got Blim, Comedic Genius. Okay, so it's like a stand-up comic imp. Flying, whenever Blim, Comedic Genius deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of a target permanent you control. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. Oh, okay, there's a lot going on there. So you give stuff away when it deals combat damage, and then they keep losing life. So it's kind of inverse Zedru. So Zedru, when you give things away, you gain life and draw cards. This guy, you give things away and then they lose life and discard cards. I think Rakdos is probably better colours for that as well. I think in Rakdos you can give away some really nasty things. Myra, Thorn of the Glade. Whenever Myra, Thorn of the Glade or another elf you control dies, you may pay 1 and 1 life. If you do, draw a card with partner. And then a foil Wild Celebrants and a cool zombie token. Okay, we're getting towards the end here. 5 packs left. I think we've done okay. We've hit 3 mythics, so we can't be too unhappy with that. Preordain again, nice. Command Tower, awesome. Command Sphere, great card. Sissy's Ring, not a great card. Nether Nightblade, whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each player loses 1 life. Okay, so it's like a Blood Artist, but just for tokens. Meteoric Mace, so it's a 6 mana, +4/+0 and trample with Cascade. There we go. Nevinril's Discs, everyone knows what this does, just destroys everything. Enters the battlefield tapped. Radiant Serra Archangel, so 7 mana for a 6/4 flying. Another untapped creature you control with flying. So tap another untapped creature you control with flying, okay. So she can't tap herself. Radiant Serra Archangel gains protection from the colour of your choice. Oh, that's cool. So she just makes other things into Mother of Runes. Oh, we hit a 4th mythic. Jessica, Thrice Reborn. So this is one of these partner Planeswalker cards. Jessica, Thrice Reborn, enters the battlefield with a loyalty counter on it for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game. Okay. Choose target creature until your next turn. If that creature would deal combat damage, it deals triple that damage instead. Crazy. And then minus X, Jessica, Thrice Reborn deals X damage to each of up to 3 target. Okay, so if you minus 2 her, she does 2, 2 and 2, so she does 6. So she does triple damage herself. That's really cool. Thrice Reborn, okay, 3s. She seems really, really cool. Foil Foundry Inspector. Another mythic! Jeez, we're doing really well. Sphinx of the Second Sun. Flying at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get an additional beginning phase after this phase. Okay, so that doesn't sound like much, but I imagine there's a lot of ways to abuse that. I can't think of any. Like I said, I'm a total commander noob, but it does sound like that does some interesting things. So at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get an additional beginning phase. Okay. Then Felice, Revenant Medium. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Okay, so she doubles your tokens basically. That's really good in black-white. Make spirits, make zombies, just get a bunch of free spirits. We've got a little bird. Flying, spells your opponents cast this turn. The spells your opponents cast that target one or more of commanders you control cost 3 more. Okay, so it protects the other commander basically. Opposition agent. Flash. You control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. That's cool. While an opponent is searching a library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards as long as they remain exiled. So this is like a notion thief for when they search their library. That's really sweet, and it's foil. And then we get a cool dragon token. Okay, 3 packs left. Feather Lightning. Oh, Staff of Dominion. There we go. Just does everything. 1 mana, untap the staff. 2 mana, untap it, gain a life. 3 mana, untap it, untap a creature. 4 mana, untap it, tap target creature. 5 mana, untap it, draw a card. So it's just a really good mana sink. Thorn of the Glade, there she is again. And we've got Allura, Solemn Ritualist. And then Foil Zombie, a token. Okay, we've got a couple of packs left, but I mean, really, I think we've had all our hits. I'd be very surprised if we hit anything else crazy. But we'll see. Demonic Lore. When Demonic Lore enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. At the beginning of your end step, you'll lose 2 for each card in your hand. Oh, okay, that can get scary really quick. I was like, 3 mana for 3 cards? That seems great, but yeah. Confiscate is awesome. Pen and Blade again. Bio-Waste Blob. Oozes you control get +1/+1, so it's a literal Ooze Lord. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a commander, create a token that's a copy of Bio-Waste Blob. Oh, okay, that's really cool. So, it anthems Oozes, and then if you have a commander, you just keep making them and they all anthem each other. That's nice. We've got the Bird guy again and the Kraken guy again, and that's a really cool alt foil. I don't know what that is. See that? That's really pretty. That might be a big hit. And it's Nevinral, so it's the guy whose disc it is, Urborg Tyrant. Hexproof from artifacts, creatures and enchantments. Okay. So you can still target him with instant sorceries, but creatures, artifacts and enchantments can't touch him. When Nevinral Urborg Tyrant enters the battlefield, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token for each creature that died this turn. Okay, so he works well with his disc. You pop the disc, play him, get a bunch of zombies. When Nevinral dies, you may pay 1. When you do, destroy. Okay, and then when he dies, he discs. That's really cool. And I don't know what that foiling is, but it's very, very pretty. Okay, last pack. Like I said, I didn't think we could do any better than we opened this weird foil. Intangible Virtue is great. Magus of Order. Green, tap it, sacrifice Magus of Order and another green creature. Search your library for a green creature card. Put it on the battlefield and shuffle it. Okay, so you sacrifice that and another green creature, and then you get to tutor a green creature, put it straight into play. Cool. We always need more ways to cheat Thragtusk, not Thragtusk, Creator with Behemoth into play. Lethel, the Bountless Dawn, so it's a legendary unicorn with lifelink. 4 mana for a 2/2 at the beginning of each end step. If you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many +1/+1 counters. Oh, That's crazy. So if you gain like 5 life, you just get to distribute 5 counters among any number of creatures. Awesome. Alina, Kessig Trapper, 5 mana, first strike, add an amount of red mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. And then foil Soul's Might. Okay, so let's do a quick retake. So these are all 1, 2, oh that's rare, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 21 non-rare foils and 3 rare foils. Okay, then we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Now let me just double check in here. None of these. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, so out of 24 packs, we got 35 rares and 3 foil rares, so we get 38 rares and mythics. Then we got an additional 21 foils, and then additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, and 37 kind of uncommon command legends to be your commanders. And some of these cards seem really good, some of the uncommons ones seem really good, or big hits. We're going to need to check this Nevinro, because that guy seems really sweet. I imagine, again, I've not looked at the prices, I've not looked at the spoilers, most of these cards are new to me. I imagine, oh, I know this, I know people want the Jewelled Lotuses. This guy is probably good, just 'cause he's a big Monarch card. The lands are always great. Through the Breaching, yeah, just the mythics all seem good. And I'm sure this guy's either going to be bulk or going to be crazy, right? The one that gives you extra beginning phases. But no, that was really sweet. Yeah, I think we did okay. I think that was a good box. Let me know in the comments how your boxes go, if you think we should do another one, or if there's anything that I missed over, anything I glossed over that has a lot more potential than I'm giving it credit for. But thank you very much for watching this box opening. Let us know if you want to see more. We'll get more boxes, we can open some more. But thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.